All right, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. We're going to continue to upgrade our Grand Theft Auto 5 LSPDFR experience. So last episode, I showed you quickly how to install LSPDFR, baseline with the most recent rage hook, things you got to look out for, and how to just get it up and running, right? We saw no frame reduction. So today we're going to be taking step number 2. What I like to do is I call it step number 2 kind of the script phase, right? We do a little bit of uniform stuff, but we don't do cars, we don't necessarily do sounds, we don't change any of the core fundamentals other than getting scripts into place. Now we are going to need, and it's a good opportunity to get OpenIV. You can see OpenIV.com. OpenIV is something that lets you edit files for the future use. So when we're starting to put in cars and vehicles and things like that, we are going to need it for some of the uniform stuff. But once we get into it, we will talk about what direction and how to locate it from there. So you can see on the left hand side, we got our directory open up through Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Grand Theft Auto 5. All the scripts we downloaded are here in an isolated thing. I do kind of like to work from bottom to top, and I try to grab some of the stuff that we'll need. But I've noticed like things like Ultimate Backup, it's been taken down. It's not a big deal. It was a nice script, but it's not entirely needed. As you go through too, it's nice to look through here into the config files and always change that. But we're going to start out with going straight into the Grand Theft Auto 5 directory, selecting both of these files, and then pulling them straight into the main directory. So now once that's in there, it's a good chance to go in here and check out your display configs, check out your keyboard configs, check out your general configs. That way you can, no offense Albo, but you can change it from Albo to FinKone, right? Don't forget to save it as you exit it. You really don't need to do a whole lot in here. Like I said, we're not going to do a whole bunch of key editing off of the start. You're going to, as you play, you'll change keys around and settle into a comfortable configuration. So I'm really not going to show too much of that. So we'll go back into the main directory. We'll move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And this is just a list of the baseline of scripts that I'm going to be starting with. I'm going to finish out doing all the script ones, and then we're going to go through installing EUP for fire services and police services in the menu. So we'll speed up through here, and I'll catch you when we get back on that. Okay, so real quick, I just want to comment what I'm doing, why I'm, sorry if you hear my phone in the background, why I'm doing it and the reason for it. So Canine Partner includes a copy of the Rage Native UI. UI is just like something they can use to display stuff, draw stuff on screen. I would rather trust somebody, no offense, Canine Partner thing. I would rather trust Albo to provide me with my Rage native UI. I feel like he's going to give me the most recent version. He's more involved with the community. You can see they're exact same size. 123904 is the file size. But I'm probably not going to replace Rage native UI from Albo's with this one. I'm just going to grab the plugins folder. And it's just kind of a little tip because you're going to have a lot of files that everybody's trying to include sub dependencies for. And you don't always need to keep overwriting them. I take the most trusted source to provide me with those. All right, so there we have it. We took all of these. Now we're down to the EUP. So first off, we want to do the menu. It's a menu system that'll let us select certain. Sorry, I hate WinRAR, but I'm too lazy to move away from it. You can see it goes straight into the main plugins folder, which means it's kind of ran by Rage Hook. It's almost independent of LSPDFR, which is fine. You'll have scripts that do that. We haven't installed the Spotlight, Spike strips, things like that. We'll get to those, the Rage Hook plugins later. Right now, we're talking about LSPDFR plugins. So we'll do, what you can see here is we've got now a different type of packet for these. So these are two uniform files. I believe one is for law enforcement and the other is for super relaxed firefighters. That's probably what the SR stands for. Probably what the SR stands for. Super relaxed firefighters. Or like super rested firefighters. Or like super really lazy firefighters. That's probably what those stand for. So at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and open up OpenIV. For those that are kind of new to it, I'll give you a rundown of how you find it. All right, well, I had to uninstall it, reinstall it. Kind of sped up through that as well so you could just see what was happening so you're not in like a clueless zone. But now you can see this is literally pointed towards my directory of where Grand Theft Auto 5. We're just going to select that folder. It's going to validate it, success, yada, yada. do not forget to back up your original files before editing. That's just a friendly warning. It's going to go ahead and try to get its hooks into Grand Theft Auto 5, so it can give you that power of basically like reverse engineering a lot of its files and digging deep into it to unlock some things, so you can get the power of editing models, data files, and all that. Don't mind me, I'm having my morning coffee. We won't need the tutorial video. But basically, so the absolute first thing you want to do is create a backup to the mods folder. And what we're going to do is we're going to see where OpenIV wants us to put these things. So to do an easy install, first we got to get these out of, we'll drag them to the desktop just so they're easy to find. And then we will put them into our scripts folders for simplicity, because we're going to have to point OpenIV to them. So under tools, you'll see you got your ASI managers. Now this is important. You're going to need your ASI loaders installed. You don't really need open camera if you don't want to, but this will also allow you to use a mods folder here. Create a mods folder. And this is good that I had to reinstall it, because I can show you the steps that you have to go through. You know what I mean? Notification while editing mods outside of it, correct. Allow edit mode only for archive mods. I would say put this on if you don't really know what you're doing. It'll kind of try to protect you. And then you can see it created our mods folder for us. So anything we put in here, like say if we want to edit something within this, we can easily drag it over into this folder, and we can take this folder, make a copy of it in the mods. I apologize, one of my kids walked in, distracted me. So we can make a copy of this file, put it into the mods folder. When the game loads up, it bypasses this and looks into the mods file. So if it finds like X64 Bravo in mods, it'll use that one instead of this one. That means we can now use the one in the mods folder to manipulate and change. And if we've screwed up real bad, we can just delete that, redo that specific one again. And that's why it's important to go slow and not alter everything all at once. But now back to what I was talking about in terms of installing an actual package. That's the OIV packages that we were talking about. So if you go to the desktop, you'll be able to go into our scripts, and then we can see we have law enforcement in here. It'll pop open the packet. We can hit the install. We can tell you we want it in the mods folder. We can go ahead with the installation. Because it's a packet, it's simple, it's straightforward, and generally it's so easy to use. So that one was complete. We're also going to do the super rested firefighters one. So as we go to the package installer, we can see super rested firefighters 1.3. Here comes our heroes. Oh, serve and rescue. I thought it was super rested. Oopsie. Okay, so now that we did that, this is the little stuff that will get you. If you're trying to go too fast and breeze along, you can notice this just has a README, right? Tells you how to install it in case you really need it. But this one has a plugins folder, and it's under EUP and a preset outfit. So it's important to include this, and you just want to definitely check, after installing the OpenIV, put the plugins folder into your Grand Theft Auto 5 directory. So we're in the plugins folder. Basically you could be from here, drag and drop, but since we're already in the plugins folder, we just can drag this EUP directly into here. So when we press the EUP menu, it's going to go to the presets, and it's going to have preloaded stuff for us in terms of what we can pick option wise. Now the reason it's like that is probably because firefighters don't have nearly as cool tools as cops, so they kind of have preset and predefined uniforms. But now that we're done with that, we haven't changed any keys. We changed like one thing in the INI. We're not too worried about it, right? Now we're at a stage where we have, a better computer, a police radio to do our police work with, to get coroners and stuff like that, and tow trucks there. We have the ability to look up people a little bit better and interact with them just from going down the list. We have a canine partner that we could try out. We have some baseline call-outs. Notice how I didn't throw every single call-out in there, right? We just went with Arrest Manager, Computer Plus, EMS Mod, Interaction, Canine Partner, LSPDFR Plus, which might give us some issues. It has in the past. One call-out packet, Police Smart Radio. We didn't do vocal dispatch. We haven't done that far yet. So now's a good time to where you can edit out or exit out of OpenIV. and then it's good just to go into the game, load it up, and then see what's going on. So I'll see you guys when we're in the game. All right, so we're in the game. Now it's just kind of important to, like, quickly check things. We can see that the police radio is working. I kind of went through and cleared out some of the issues that it was having. When you initially set it up, it might turn off and turn on LSPDFR. It might continue to do some odd things. So good stuff we can do is just check real quick to see if we do have different types of uniforms on and so forth. This guy's got a different uniform on as well. He's like some type of plain clothes or detective or whatever he wants to be. We're just going to go down here and check, see if the doggo's even working. And before we roll out here, it's a good idea to just check out EUPs. Remember, the EUP wasn't loaded. Remember how we didn't start it automatically? Not reload. Load, and then you can see EUP. I think the default key is F9. We haven't installed any additional scripts such as Spotlight, Spike Strips, or any of that like we've talked about. But it's good just to press, actually, no, maybe it's F10. F11. F11. So you see you got the well-rested and ever-loved propaganda spreading fire department. And then you have also the police department. And you can just kind of check out the different uniforms as they're in here. Just to make sure things appropriate loaded. We've got the bike, patrol bike. We might have to do a patrol bike on the beach, y'all. Detective roles, canine officer. So if we want to be a canine handler, this is how simplistic it is. We'll just see if he's following us, load into the car, do some basic stuff. So F5 was to pull up the menu for the dog. It's also the menu for average speed checker. So it's good to remember that so we can go and edit that up and turn it off. I know that I think T is for the interact with pedestrians. So we want to make sure that we do that as well in terms of turning that off, making sure that's proper.
Target vehicle license plate 4-6 Robert Frank Edward 658, a traffic felony. Proceed with caution.
All right, so we initiated the pullover. We'll just go up here and check and see what's going on.
Hey.
So it says traffic stop menu activated. After observations, press Y. You kind of get a little bit of a tempo. We can ask for ID.
Thanks.
And then same thing, we should be able to check his information using the radio right by him. We can go ahead and try to get the dog out of the vehicle. So his license is suspended, which is great for like demonstration purposes, I guess. We can order him out of the vehicle.
Fuck me in the ass!
Oh my fucking god!
Hey. Get in the car and behave!
So, I mean, all in all, in confliction, we just had the vehicle towed. The dog can't search the vehicle. It's so weird that all the doors open. It kind of like defeats the purpose of the dog doing a scan. So I don't know, whoever made the mod doesn't really understand how the canine's used or what it's used for. We have to turn down the blimps of what traffic police are doing. It's creating a lot of incidences, a lot of scenes. Overall, it could be making the game chug a good bit too. You can see like in our close proxy, we've got 2 or 3 separate events running right now. We're having issues transporting him, so we have to check out transportation mod from Albo as well. Some of the scripts that we used to use have been taken down, like ultimate backup and things like that. Once you settle out all this overlapping nonsense from the key binds that are happening, which is what we did, we settled at least 80% of our key issues. Then we have to get familiar with the keys. Then we start putting in additional scripts, spotlight, stop sticks, and so forth. Once we get to that point, then we're ready for cars and ELS and like awesome lighting and like all that other stuff that people are actually really, really interested about. So many people don't put the work into the foundation and the problem of the game before moving beyond that. So hopefully this video helps some of you guys understand how slow you have to take it from the script side. And vehicles are the same way. You don't want to do a whole lot of vehicles. You want to keep your eye on the F4 key to see what's going on, if any types of crashes happen. We still didn't check the ability to make sure that our computer actually is working. So if we hold that, we should be able to bring this up. You can toggle the pause, toggle the background. I like to keep the game running. When I'm doing like toggle the pause, I like to keep the game running. I wish the computer screen like took up a portion of the thing and not the whole screen, because you can still kind of use peripheral vision to glance at suspects and stuff like that. You can still check out the privileges of people and things like that. And then you can also write your own citations or create an arrest report. So this guy, we're going to take him because he's got narcotics in his car. Check out the arrest history of individuals. Attempted murder of a police officer. Wonderful. We should have handled him with care. That's the reason you always handle everybody with care. You don't know who they are. Never read a book by its cover, right? Never read a book by its cover. We'll get back to doing additional mods. I'll show you, like, this is good because I'm getting to show you guys me upgrading the game as we go. Until then, I'll catch you at the next one. Get this knucklehead to jail. Dog, enter my front seat. And I never transport. We're having transportation issues. We have to get the transportation on. Let's roll, Pooch.